Hey everybody, it's Father Casey, the pastor of the Epiphany of Our Lord Church, welcoming you once again to our YouTube channel, The Fourth Magi. We have come to the end of ordinary time. It is the end of year A, the end of the year of the Gospel of Matthew, and we end it with the feast, the solemn feast of Christ the King, who crowns the entire year. But before I get into the gospel, I want to tell you a story. Let you know a little bit about my history. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It goes right into the gospel. So when I was a junior in high school, Long Island, New York, I had to take chemistry. It was part of the curriculum, but I really wasn't very good at chemistry. And I struggled terribly. I got terrible grades. But I found out that my girlfriend had the same teacher that I had the year before. And she had all the tests, she had all the workbook, she had everything. So I thought, I got it. So I tested it out, and I took the test that she had from the previous year, and I brought it, and I looked at it, and I said, okay, let me see if the teacher gives the same test. And he did, he gave the same exact test. But, I didn't do so hot on it because I wasn't prepared for it. But I knew the next time we had a test, I just would take a test from my girlfriend and I would use the answers. And I had my friends, when I told them about it, I gave my friends the answer key as well. So, when the next test came around, I put down all the answers I got from that previous test. It was the same test. And I got 100. See, I wasn't too smart though, because I was such a bad student that the teacher knew right away that something was wrong. Because he said, when he handed back the test, Casey, how did you get 100? And I said, I studied really hard. I lied right through my teeth. All right, I wasn't the greatest student. I wasn't a saint either, okay? So, not being as smart as the teacher, the next time he gave a test, do you think he gave the same test? No, because he figured out that Jim was dating this girl that was in his class last year, who was a good student. She was an honor student. So, when the next test came around, what did I do? Took the answer key, gave it to my friends, and got ready to take the test. And then when the teacher handed out the test, I looked at the test, and you know what? It wasn't the same test. He got smart. But I couldn't tell my friends. So I knew I was in a panic. I looked up at the teacher, and he was just smiling. He knew he got me. He knew what I was doing, and it got me. Lesson learned, but we would love to have the answers to all of the tests that we have to take in our lives. Especially if you're somebody studying for graduate school, you'd like to have the answers to that test. The SATs, the law school entrance exam. Boy, if you could get the answers to the CPA exams, you would do something, because it's so hard, some of the tests that we have to take in our lives. But in this week's gospel, Jesus gives us the answers to the final exam. The final exam. How to get into heaven. Not how to get into law school, not how to get into graduate school, or how to get to college. How to get into heaven. Well, that's a pretty important test when you think about it. But he gives us the answer key. He says, when he separates the people at the end of time, and he separates them into sheep and the goats, he says to those who are the sheep, who are on his right, who are going to go to heaven, he says, blessed are you. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was homeless, you gave me shelter. When I was a stranger, you welcomed me. And when I was in prison, you visited me. And the people are like, what? When did I do that? I don't remember seeing you. He says, every time you did it to one of my brothers and sisters, you did it for me. So come into heaven with me and enjoy which has been prepared for you. That's the answer. But it's not a theoretical exam, meaning you can't write it down on a piece of paper. It's something that you have to do. We have to feed the hungry, it's an action. Give drink to the thirsty, it's an action. Give shelter to the homeless, it's an action. You and I have to get off our butts, and we have to do things for others. And when we do things for others, well, we pass the exam because we're really doing them for Jesus. And that passes, we get to pass the exam and get into heaven. That, my friends, is the final exam. That's the answer key. So, let's ask ourselves, are we ready for this exam? Have we been prepared to take this exam? Well, we can now change, and we know what we have to do. It's real simple, but it means we have to do a little work. So starting this week, how about you and I start doing the answers to the final exam? And you and I will see each other in that great school in the sky. Have